What's up, everyone? My name is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to be showing you guys my 2024 reading journal flip through. I have a lot to say about this, about my journey through making a reading journal, the ups, the downs, the things that I've learned. And I've already started my 2025 spreads, so you guys will be seeing those at some point. I hope in the future that I'll post more reading journal flip throughs like throughout the year, but because this was my first year, like I did it the whole year, and I'll explain a little bit more of that when we actually get to the flip through. But this was the first time I've ever done it for like an entire year, and it took a lot of trial and error of figuring out what spreads I liked, which ones I didn't, which ones worked, what I want to include, etc., etc., etc. So 2024 was really like a experiment. I look back on my journal and I can see so much improvement. And when I say improvement, I mean in getting closer to what I want my reading journal to be. And that took a lot. Like it took like the whole year for me to finally feel like I know what I want my reading journal to be. So I'm going to be showing you guys that process through 2024 and giving you like tips and tricks and talking about what I learned and what went wrong, what I like, etc. I'll show you guys the spreads. I've never done a flip through before. This is the first time I've ever done a flip through. I've showed spreads in the past a long time ago, but I decided that was something I wanted to keep to myself while I was learning, and I'm ready to show you guys again. So I'm going to show you guys my 2024 flip through, and then eventually I'll show you guys my 2025 spreads. But at this point, I love doing reading journaling so much that I make a spread for like everything. So I've been trying to find the right time to show you guys my 2025 spreads, but I keep adding to the list. So I think what I've decided is I'm just going to have to film what I have and then show you guys like periodic updates, because I journal almost every day. Like I work on something almost every day. It's like, this is one of my favorite hobbies. I really, really love it. So I know a question that I'm probably going to get in this video is like, where did I get the supplies? My journal is from Archer and Olive, and I think I filled up a lot of like about half of this for 2024, maybe like 3/4 of it, because I'm gonna run out before 2026. So I've already bought another one, and I'll reveal that journal when I fill this one up, which it's getting there, which is very bittersweet. So I use Archer and Olive's the square. I think it's 180 dot grid, 8x8. 180 page. I don't know. I don't know all those journaling things, but it is the square one from Archer and Olive. I've tested a lot of journals over the years between Michaels and Amazon and a bunch of companies, and I found that Archer and Olive is expensive, but it's worth the money to me when it's something I do all year long. It's held up really well being in my backpack every day. It's just nothing like very few things bleed, if anything at all. The pages they're great. I highly recommend Archer and Olive, and I will own they are pricey. As far as like stickers and washi tape, my hope was that I could link you guys the shops in my description. However, I realized that over the year, so I buy stickers like once or twice a year in large orders and washi tape, but I buy from so many different stores, I don't think I can link them all below. So I'll tell you how I found the stickers that I use. I literally go to Etsy. So I buy mine from Etsy, which also is pricey. And I want to help support small business if I, am financially able. I understand that not everyone is financially able to do that. And so I use Etsy, and I will go to Etsy. I will type in like journaling stickers, journaling washi tape, and then I will just scroll and look at things that I like, put it all in my basket, and then decide like which ones I want to keep. If there's more from a certain shop, if I buy more, if I get free shipping or get a discount. And I've just bought from so many wonderful stores that I don't think I could link them all below, but that is my process. So if you like the stuff that I'm going to show you in my journal, then you can do that by like going to Etsy. As far as like markers and other supplies, I have also used and tried so many different things. My go-to is also very pricey. Tombow markers are the ones that I use the most of. Like 99% of the time I use Tombow, and you'll see in my flip through that I only use a few select colors. So I would recommend, if you want to try Tombow because they are pricey, to maybe just get a few and then see how you like those, and try to get maybe some neutral colors so that you can use them throughout your journal. Some ones that I would recommend are like the white one, a tan one, and a black one, because those those typically go with everything for lining and then like highlighting. You'll see in my journal. And then something else I will talk about, a marker that I have used so much and I've tried so many different ones of, is a white marker to cover up mistakes. And in my very first page of my flip through, I'm going to talk a lot about that. So let's get into my first ever journal flip through. And I'll show you guys what I learned in 2024. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton. A like on the video goes a long way. I would love to answer any questions you all might have about my journaling process and that sort of thing in the comments. And then as always, my Discord is free for anyone to join. It's linked in the description box below. People do show their journals on there. So if you'd like to join and show off what you're making or get some questions answered or bounce ideas off other people, the Discord is linked down below. All right, I'll see you guys at the flip through.
Okay, I just want to start the flip through part of this by saying kudos to all the journal tubers who figure out a way to film over their journal. This is much harder than it looks. Okay, let's get into the flip through though. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out a way to do this because I don't typically film this sort of thing. I actually never wrote my name in here. I'm not quite sure why, but I didn't. And over here this is like a code for me. This was like what I used to know about printing book covers, like what size they needed to be. At one point I was doing a calendar, so you can see that like these are just some dot grid things for me to know when I print and make certain things. All right, so this is my title page, or like cover page, I guess you could say. I actually ended up doing this like way later, like a couple weeks ago. This says March through December. I actually started this journal in March and I'm taking it all the way through December and actually into 2025. When I made this, I didn't think that I was going to add my January and February stuff to it, but I ended up adding that in. But this date basically just covers when I was actively doing it every month. So yeah, this is my cover page. And then here's where one of the biggest mistakes in my whole journal is that I learned a lot about covering things up. You can see here, I don't know when this happened or how it happened, because it didn't happen until about like 5 or 6 months into using this journal, but somehow these book covers like imprinted on this side, and I don't know how it happened, but this is where I learned about how to use a white marker to cover up mistakes. So I used several different ones until I finally found one that I liked, and a white marker has like helped throughout this entire journal. I have used it to fix things. You can see here I wrote my 2024 intentions, and then I did a video last spring and the books that I thought would be the best books of 2024, the most talked about, and looking at this list, I think I was not too far off with that. You can see I didn't end up using my goals check-in very much, so I am going to be doing that a little bit different in 2025. This was my anticipated release spread, and you can see I read all of them except for 2. However, in December, because I'm filming this at the beginning of December, The Queen is on my TBR list. I'm not sure when or if I will get to Lady Macbeth. This page also taught me that I needed to use a different printer because my printer did not print colors well, but something I told myself throughout this journal was that for once I was not going to be a perfectionist, because that's really inhibited my ability to do reading journals in the past. And so whatever mistakes were made, i.e. this one, or the printing, as long as it wasn't too big of a mistake, which I'll talk about in a minute, I decided that I was either going to cover it up or figure out a way to make it work, because if not, then I would run myself into the ground trying to fix things, and that is not conducive to this being a hobby. So yeah, those are like the 2. And then this is a spread that ended up, I wish I could figure out, okay, we're just going to go back and forth because I don't usually do these sorts of flip throughs. This was a YouTube series in an author spotlight page. I decided to not use this, as you can see. And Okay, got a little bit better view for you all. I decided to not use this spread very often, but as much as I wanted to glue the pages together and not use it at all, A, I don't like the spread, and B, I ended up not really doing these things, but I decided I would leave it in because I really like the washi tape, and yeah, I don't know. I just decided to leave it in. You will see over time my spreads get a lot more intricate. I did a lot more drawing. At this point in my journaling, I was very still perfectionist and wanted everything to look very clean. You will see as this journal goes on that was not the case anymore. Okay, so this was like kind of a page that I left space for, so I skipped this page in my original run through of the journal and went back and did these. So these are just kind of lists, they can be kind of hard to decorate, but this was my end of the year 2024. I went through and listed like all of my 6 stars. I'm just gonna have to hold this for you guys. I went through and listed all of my 6 stars and my top 10 of the year, and then this was my 2023 and compared to 2024. And yeah, I filmed a video for this and I filmed a video for this. So a lot of my journal is used to like help me lay out videos and things like that. And you can see where that kind of came to an end at some point too. This was also a fill-in page. This is where I decided to add in January and February to this journal. And then these are my end of the year videos that I'm planning and tracking, and at some point will complete, or X for ones that I decided not to do anymore, because that also happens sometimes. But yeah. All right. This is a layout this is the original layout that I started with for my monthly items and decided to not continue after a couple months because video planning, that's been a whole journey this year. I don't really do that anymore too much, other than like a list thing, which you just saw. And then the calendar, I ended up not using. So I stopped doing that, but I still really love the way that this looks. The calendar is a pretty popular thing that people do in reading journals. And then this is just a layout of all the books that I read, the covers, and their ratings. I don't love this. Again, this is something else that I ended up changing over the course of the year and getting a little bit better at. And then I did this reflection, some stats, which I like the way that this looks. And it's another thing that I ended up discontinuing. But yeah, I enjoyed making this, and I like the way that it looks still. Yeah, that was just some stats for March. And then you can see I hadn't quite figured out that this wasn't going to work for me anymore. I believe that April was the month that I decided that this wasn't going to work anymore, so I stopped doing it after this month. This was a whole thing. This page I have actually ripped through and changed many, many times. I'm sorry, this keeps changing for you guys, but I can't figure out a good way to do this. So this is something that changed many times over the course of doing this. Like I ripped the page here several times. I put different things down, and I decided that I don't love this layout either, and ended up doing something completely different in the future. May and June was a very busy month for me. My best friend from England came to visit for 3 weeks, and I didn't read a ton, and I didn't fill in my journal at all, so I decided that I would do like a combined spread for this for May and June. So yeah, I don't love the way that this looks again, but I got the stuff down, I did the page, and I stayed consistent, so I'm okay with that. These are just like short reviews of books that I really liked in May and June. And then you can see some stats here, and then this is just a simple list of the stuff that I read. This is another page that I really, really hate. This is the point in the year in July where I was about ready to quit doing journaling because I kept making things that I didn't like, which was frustrating me. But I decided for once that I wasn't going to give up on doing this, and kept going. So I don't love this. This is a readathon that I did. I do readathons throughout the year, and invite people to join. Again, the Discord is a good place to join readathons if you would like. And then this was my July TBR. I absolutely hate this, but it's okay. We're going to keep going to where things get better. This is a spread that I made for buddy read that I do with with my friend Neve, and we each have a page for this. You can see we've read several books this year, and we didn't even start this until the end of the summer, and we're working on one right now for this slot right here. But I actually really like this page. This is where I started giving myself more freedom and drawing a little bit more. Drawing is something that has caused me a lot of anxiety over the years because I don't think that I'm very good at it. But it's something that I want to learn and be better at. And yeah, you can see a little bit more creative expression and freedom in this. I didn't really think too much about if the drawings were good or what stickers I should use or if they would even go together. This is where I started finding a little bit more of that freedom. And then this is where I start getting into the pages that I actually ended up liking. So this is from the book Big Swiss, which was a buddy read that I did, and we both really loved the book. And I wanted to make a whole page for it because I really enjoyed Big Swiss. And yeah, I just found that doing a little bit more creative things around books that I really liked would be rewarding and nice to do. And then this is a group book club that I'm in, and you can see these are some of the books that we've read. I know you guys can't really see because I'm trash at filming this right now. But yeah, this is what my book club page looks like. I actually really like this page, and I like this spread as a whole. I don't love this. This is my July layout, and yeah, you can see I did. This is where I started getting into a little bit more creative expression. I really love ghost face things, for those of you who might be new, and then I decided that I would print books that I really, really loved. And some are bigger than others because I liked them more, or I wanted just it to look a little bit different and have a little bit of like texture, or not texture, but like, you know, sizing differences instead of everything being so bland and like perfect. This is where I started getting into things that I enjoy a little bit more as well. This is my list to read before 2025. So new releases, and then books that I already owned. So these are coming out. These are ones that I already have and wanted to read. I've gotten through a lot of them. I'm really proud of this. This is something I've talked about on the channel a lot. Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of this. I used this spread a lot. This is where I started using a lot of stickers that I liked, but then also combining it with some drawings that I like. Yeah. Let's see. This is a nonfiction page I made to track and motivate myself to read more nonfiction. So you can see the book covers over here. And then just some reviews of the books and what I thought about them. And the only reason it's 7 nonfiction is because that's what ended up fitting on the page, and I decided that I would just go with that to relax a little bit more, and I still have space to fill in a few other ones for this, which I will do. I haven't completely separated my 2024 and 2025, because I know it would make sense for things to maybe flow a little bit better, but I decided that I would just do whatever I want and what makes sense in my journal. So yeah, this is kind of a new thing that my friend and I did. So this was a challenge that I had on my channel of reading 30 pages a day for a month and a half, I think it was about. Yeah, from 8:17 to 9:30. Life was really hard during that period of time, and I was really struggling to read in general. And then this over here is something that my book club and I decided to do, Read What We Want week. We've actually extended this and done this again. We're about to do another round of it where we all 3 make TBRs and we read whatever we want that week, and we talk about it, because all of us are doing like NetGalley or, you know, other sorts of reads, but we just stop for that week and read whatever we want and talk about it together and motivate each other. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. This is a spread that I did for like it says want and then bought. So a list of books that I want and then a list of books that I bought. I made another page of this, which you'll see in a few minutes, but I'm really not buying books like at all right now, because between NetGalley, you know, Ping and Random House Audio, I'm privileged to get a lot of books to review. You guys are a big part of that, for tuning into my channel. It gives me a space to be able to get these books to review. So I was tracking this for a bit, and I might go back to it if I start buying books regularly again, but This is my September. I like this enough. I decided I would be just a little bit more creative, give myself a little bit more creative expression. So I just listed the books here with the star ratings. These were my most anticipated. And then this is kind of like a review wrap up. So like 16 books, 10 audio. I did the 30 per day challenge and I had 4 new favorites. And then these are just some book covers from books that I really enjoyed that month. It's like kind of a collage, but starting to mix stickers with my own drawings. Just like simple things like this used to really freak me out to do. So I've come a long way, and I also drew that, which not sure if I love or hate, but it is what it is. Yeah, this was, knew I was going to run out of room. So this is the second and like rendition of the want it, got it situation. I'm not sure if I'll do another one of these just because I really am not buying things unless they're on sale. Like this was $1.99 and $2.99 Kindle deals. So for the most part, I'm just not really buying as much. This is my 2025 pre-order spread. And then there are some columns. I guess I better pick this up again. There are some columns where I decided, like, if it was on NetGalley, if I got it approved for it or didn't, and then if I ended up canceling the pre-order, because that's something that I often do. But yeah, I like this. This is, oh my gosh, this map is horrible. This was like a whole group friend thing that we did where we all made maps and my friends made wonderful ones. I'm not sure what happened here. This looks like a clip art situation, but I love this. These are some island survival books that I really love. I drew all of this, did this writing, and I like that. I feel like that. Yeah, I like this, even though I feel like this looks like clip art over here. I did actually really enjoy making this page, and I love this spread. Like, I love it all together. Even though, again, I feel like this looks like clip art. Like, why does this backpack look like a cow? I'm really not sure. But I love this spread, and something I do regularly is, like, at least once a day is flip through my journal, and I love this one. This is a TBR game I made, like, similar to... It was going to be similar to like Cluedo. I ended up not finishing this and losing momentum or motivation to do it. But rather than, I used a lot of stickers that I really love for this. So rather than gluing the pages together and calling it quits, I decided I would leave it and maybe I would come back to it one day. I had a whole set of rules and how the game was going to work. Like you would move around from room to room. But yeah, I ended up not completing that and not using it as a game. This is my October wrap up. These are my October reads and reviews, and then these are all the books that I read in October. I wasn't sure what to do for this. I ended up drawing like little drawings. Like I'm not sure what that is or what's happening there, but that's kind of like a knife. You can see I'm not a great artist, but that's okay. I had a good time making this, and I still like don't mind the way that this looks. This is my November. This is when I started doing the prompt cards, which I'm going to do every month now, because it really helped motivate me. So this was my November spread. Yeah, I like this. I drew those trees. I like the stickers that I used. I'm pretty proud of this, and I feel like it's nice to look at. I hate this. I've wanted to glue this together so many times, but past this is a lot of my 2025 stuff, which I'm going to give you guys like a sneak preview of. I despise this page, but I didn't have any room to redo it. So even if I glued them together, there would be no room to do my December stuff. So I absolutely despise this. I bought a whole bunch of cute holiday stickers that I ended up not using because I have a problem with saving stickers and not using them. But I don't mind the trees and the lights that I drew over here. This was going to be for that video that I canceled of holiday and winter recommendations. So if you're curious, there's some holiday and winter recommendations. And then my December TBR and red, and then prompt, and I really hate this, so let's move on. We're going to get into the 2025 stuff in just a second. This was the first spread that I made where I was like, oh, I can actually do this. This took me several hours because this is way out of my comfort zone. It's a lot of drawing, a lot of things that I didn't know how to draw, but I just kind of let the inspiration flow and did what I wanted, and I like the way that it turned out. I think I will be doing a 2025. I don't know. This has been much harder to film than I thought, like camera wise. But I will give you guys like a little flip through, you can see like I've gotten a little bit better at making spreads. And I think 2025 is going to be a much better year. I just have to figure out a better way to film this. And I put this off because I knew that filming this would be kind of hard. But I'm going to research some ways to film it a little bit better in the future. If you stuck through this rendition of it being not great filming, thank you for doing that. I'll continue to share my bullet journal. I might end up doing it like just on the community tab or in the Discord. We will see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.